be the first. This will be the first look-see. This pile has come down a lot. Freezing in this top area. So that would mean it's just thatch. This might have to be a couple of different days. I'm gonna loosen this patch of thatch. Frozen. Let's see if I can pry up some more. It's well on its way. Red wigglers. So essentially what they are is compost accelerators. I mean, that's not very scientific and definitely more pop culturist, but basically what they do is they go through detritus, like, you know, anything that you'd find on, you know, on this tree plantation floor, from the needles of the trees to horse feces. Yeah, they're extraordinary because they eat, you know, all of this kind of compost, and their poop, which, you know, is called castings, I guess, more officially, is like super soil regenerator. So not only does it provide, like, you know, more classical nutritional benefits to the soil, but it also, because it's coming through worms, it actually helps the biome, right? Like the soil biome, balances pH, right? There's just so many things about it that is good, and helps to get rid of, in an accelerated fashion, by inserting a couple of pounds of worms into this rather vast pile. In ideal conditions, they should be doubling their mass as a species about every 3 months, and you know, 1 pound or 1 kilo of worms can consume half its body weight in a day. This is actually, literally, properly called tons of shit. So, you know, the fact that I'm seeing this makes me really happy. I think we should go over to a more fresher pile, and maybe even that one over there.
That's very fresh. I just dumped some.
Pepper. Yes. Yes. Come here. Pepper. Come. Come. Sit. 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 So this is what, you know, plus or minus the shape of this pile here, which is newly dumped stuff, is what was in that pile over there. Difference being, some months this doesn't have any worms added, so to speak. Better to go and look at the other pile for comparison. This doesn't have so much thatch, so it's definitely well frozen here. Even in the space of the winter months, that pile over there with the worms in it actually has settled down, like visually, in a very noticeable way. There's another pile over here that's been around actually a long time. It has had the thatch to keep the warmth in the pile, because natural composting processes in the environment still work regardless of accelerating them with worms. So we'll take a look at that, because I know the one pile over there is even older than this one, so it should provide like a good contrast. Pepper. Close. Close. Good girl. Good girl. Come. Close.
This is in fact our oldest.
The oldest pile. It should be, given that it compared to that other pile, this pile may have settled over the winter, but to my eye, not much. So I'm going to clear some of this thatch. This has got good heavy thatch on it.
I did that in the fall.
There, we're getting into some soft now. So if you take a look in there now, it has darkened up, but it's still much more, if you will, like the poop that it was to start with.
It's very shitty.
I mean, it's a shitty business for sure, but you can see like the lightness of the color. I don't know how much the camera can pick that up, but this is substantially lighter, whereas the other bit, although it's not fully broken down, you can see what, if you didn't know it was a pile of shit, you'd think that it was fibrous soil. You know, so basically we're in the process of turning shit into prime soil superchargers, right? I mean, everything about the biome, you know, like there's a lot of microorganisms in your soil, and you know, so for below ground, you know, your worms and these microorganisms are the things that really power all of our agriculture, whether you thought about it or not. Yeah, it's cool. That's a good dog. Yeah, it seems like even with the thatch that we got, yeah, maybe 10 centimeters. I'm not going to bother measuring it out. With the temperatures warming up, take the thatch off here to actually help accelerate the heating, although I'm sure I couldn't guess exactly what the temperature would be in the center of this pile through the winter, but through the whole winter it'll be warm. The thing about red wigglers, they don't really burrow deep. Those are like night crawlers and such that burrow deep, and they provide another critical function for soil health. Red wigglers are a kind of worm that tends to be, you know, shallow burrowers at best. They're mostly about eating up, you know, like I said, all of the detritus that you'll find on the surface, you know, leaves, hay, feces, whatever, right? So, you ready, Peps?